Here with head coach Vicki Kazee-Hollifield, I'm Michael Watring here on CNEagles.com. The Eagles softball team lost game 1 6-4 and won game 2 4-0. And coach, I think coaches so many times talk about getting through adversity. In the first game, you're up 4-0, you lose at 6-4. Brittany Hefner makes a couple mistakes, but in that second game, you guys come out, shut them down, and Hefner hits a home run on the first pitch she sees, really responding well in that second game.
Well, played better the second game. Going back to the first game, we had opportunity, and I guess I'm thinking my recollection is right. I think we only had one hit after inning 2. You can't do that. You got to keep pressing on, trying to get base hits, try to continue, scoring runs. I think we scored 4, and we just kind of sit back. In conference play, and actually anybody left on our schedule remaining, we cannot do that. We've got to try to score runs every inning. But, they came out ready to play. Conference teams are going to be tough, but we've got to finish every inning.
You look at that first game, and Sarah Howard had gotten out of trouble a couple different times in the second and the third inning. But then in the 5th and the 7th, she gets into trouble, just couldn't get out of it. Did you feel like she was working behind in the count a little too much today?
There's no question about that, and we've got to do a better job. I got to do a better job. I might have gone a little bit too long with her today as well, and it takes a lot out of a pitcher too when they're both working, both hitting and pitching as well. So I might make some other decisions if I had to go back and do that again.
Kaylin Davis, another strong start from her in the game. She also struggled a little bit with her command, but she was able to get out of jams, and when she needed it, she had a strike in the game.
You're right. Our command of pitches was not the best today. All around, the enthusiasm, I thought we would come out ready to play hard, and I don't base a win or loss on how hard you cheer. I do base it on how you field the ball and hit the ball, but I didn't sense energy like I would have liked for conference games. And, you sure hope it's a wake-up call right now, but we did not need to lose one today. I mean, it is so highly competitive in our conference. It really hurt losing that first game today.
Kelly Hensley has done such a good job at the plate, but you look at today's games, the bottom of the order did a great job for you. I think Audrey Woodby had a 13-pitch at bat that eventually moved a runner into scoring position. The bottom of the order really kind of set the stage for you in both games.
They did, and I also think, though, you can go through the lineup, and I looked at it very, very quick, but we're not having timely hits. We need back-to-back hits. I think if you go through the order, you'll see somebody get a hit, and the next 2 people, they did not get a hit, and there's so much of that. We've got to have some consistency with back-to-back hits. That's what good teams do. They get those timely hits. And even with game 2, we had the opportunity. We get a runner to second. We've got to come through in the clutch. I mean, that's what good teams do. And, again, I go back. I know I'm jumping around, but our pitch selection, I don't need people chasing, going after pitches that are 16 inches off the plate. We got to make much more wise decisions. That's very frustrating as a coach.
Is there any way that you go in and work on that kind of stuff, where maybe you go into practice and you say it's 1 ball, 2 strikes, runner at second, or what do you do in practice to make sure that they're prepared for that?
You can do that, and this isn't going to be popular, but, you may have to take one of your 2 top best players and sit them. That's also a possibility, too. As a coach, I think kids, now if you've got somebody throwing 61, 62 miles an hour, that might be tough to read that rise ball because you got to react so quickly. When someone is throwing 55 to 59 miles an hour, I think you can make that adjustment in the batter's box, and it's time to do that.
Thanks for your time, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Eagles split a doubleheader against Coker here today. For head coach Vicki Kazee-Hollifield, I'm Michael Watring here on CNEagles.com.